So we want to first start out with kind of how I alluded this before is the FASB has what's called a technical inquiry service. And so there's questions can come into the FASB staff about new standards or really any standard. But we wanted to kind of chart out based on when a standard was issued and then the subsequent quarters, the path or the number of questions that we get after a new standard is issued, particularly for the big four, so revenue, leases, hedging, and CECL. And usually what we see is kind of a peak when the standard first comes out because people have a lot of questions about that, and then it kind of goes down from there. Revenue is a little bit of outlier because I think there was some delay in companies actually really digging in and trying to look at their contracts, and so we actually saw a spike right essentially before the effective date, but we're seeing that actually die down now. But really every standard we get, there's going to be questions. So we wanted to kind of provide a broad overview of a couple of these standards as was mentioned. So hedging, the new hedging standard really has a broad concept of separately recording ineffectiveness is now eliminated. So that term ineffectiveness no longer used, and the amended disclosures really focus on the effects of hedging on the income statement line items. That's a theme that you'll see over these next two slides. So for example, for fair value hedges, today, under current GAAP and going forward, both the effective and ineffective portions of the derivative gain or loss are recorded in current period earnings. But under the new hedging standard, the presentation of the derivative gain or loss is now going to be in the same income statement line item as the hedged item. So balancing out the changes in fair value of the hedged item. Now under a cash flow hedge, under the hedging guidance today, the effective portion of the derivative gain or loss is deferred in OCI, but the ineffective portion is taken through current period earnings. Now under the new hedging guidance, both the effective portion and the ineffective portion of the derivative gain or loss is deferred into OCI. And then it's reclassed into earnings in the period when the hedged item actually affects earnings. Now similar to fair value hedges, the presentation of those amounts when they are reclassified into earnings goes in the same income statement line item as the hedged item, again, to balance that out. And so that's really the key theme of hedging.